Hello gamers and welcome to Xbot and Pony. My name is Phil.
My name is Nick.
And a few days ago we had the new state of play for PlayStation 4. Not quite what we were hoping for. I think some of us were hoping for a bit of PS5 news in there. But hey, they're keeping the PS4 alive just a little bit longer. So we're going to discuss some of the announcements and we'd love to hear from you what you think. Did you enjoy the show? Or the things that you felt were lacking? What are you excited for? Well, let us know below. So, Nick, well, we opened with Crash Bandicoot 4. How did you feel?
Good. They showed some new footage as well, some footage of a recent preview that I got to have a little hands-on time with as well. So
yeah,
we'll talk about that later on in more in-depth. It's got a lot of potential. It looks good. Feels like a new platformer, but also an old one as well. So it's got a lot of charm to it, and yeah, I'm pretty excited myself to have a go at it later on.
Man, it looked beautiful to me. Absolutely beautiful. And I liked it because there was a few things, and we'll talk about this in more detail, but there are things that you saw in that video that you hadn't seen in the preview, which was quite cool. So there's still some surprises to go. Yeah.
New playable characters, which is the more you have, the better, really. So yeah, more depth, more replayability is what these games have. I mean, that's what they've always had, really, platformers. There's a lot of replayability in there because it's not structured into go from A to B. You can kind of do certain things in different ways, go back, find all the collectibles, and not as open world games and not as open world games can be a bit stressful when you got to go from A to B and travel everywhere. So, and these games are stressful in their own way because you just die all the time. But they're cool for short bursts, and you can also sit there and play for a fair while. But it looks beautiful, plays really well, and hopefully we get more sequels like that from other IPs out there.
Hopefully it's a sign that a new Spyro the Dragon coming, a proper one.
So good.
Yeah,
so good. I'd love a new Spyro and a new Banjo. That's my two. Top of the list.
Is it wrong that I want a new Super Lucky's Tale sequel?
No, nothing wrong with that.
It's great fun. It's very fun.
Yeah, that comes out on Xbox soon, so I'll grab that.
Yeah. A couple of things that stood out on Crash Bandicoot for me is I quite like that you could play as Dingo Dial. That was different.
That was a new thing they announced. Yeah. That was a bit left field. I didn't see that coming, but yeah, really, really cool. I mean, he's already got
learned the error of his ways. He's no longer a villain, and it's quite funny. I quite like it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the other thing that jumped out to me that really made me chuckle was they were like, "No microtransactions. You promise, no microtransactions."
That was funny because everyone's like, "Oh, not at launch. That means it's coming later."
In fact, when we watched, it's exactly what we said.
That's
was like,
that doesn't sound good.
Max.
Yeah,
and it won't be printed on the box.
Yeah.
But
that was good.
Yeah, it looked good. I like some of the new filters as well and modes, and they're like a mirrored mode type thing and things that look like fun. Yeah. Next they announced Hitman 3. Well, at least they showed a little bit more detail, but there was a little extra about it, wasn't it? There was something unique.
Very exciting for you.
I was crazy excited. Yeah.
Not just 3, but 1, 2, and 3 are all coming in VR, which is pretty cool, actually.
Oh my god!
I'm excited to see more full games being in VR instead of small demos. Which there's nothing wrong with small demos. It's one of those things where you can only do it in short bursts anyway. But yeah, full games is good. It opens up the platform, and it is its own platform, so to speak. So I'm inching more and more towards getting a VR headset now.
Hey,
games coming.
Us.
I think. Well, we got Resident Evil 7. There's Batman, Doom, and now Hitman, and we assume Resident Evil 8 will probably be PSVR exclusive to PlayStation 5 or 4. No, it's not coming to 4 anymore, so 5. So that might be one of the first VR games on PS5. So, along with Hitman, I think that's coming January, wasn't it?
That's what they said. Yeah, January 2021. So not quite a launch, but launch window for sure. Yeah.
We're going to get as many people complaining like they did with Manhunt on the Wii. Remember?
Yeah, it's still slightly different, doesn't it? Yeah, because that footage they showed you with the Move controllers, you could actually go up and garrote someone, and it does feel like you're doing it. And I was just watching, going, "Yes, give it to me. I want to." So maybe that shows a side of me that's concerned.
Honey, come here. I need to use you for a second.
Yes. That's the thing. I had a better reaction this time because I told my wife about it, and she actually was stupidly excited.
Oh, that's
She's
good.
really
She
excited.
wasn't half asleep when you told her.
No, this time. So
That
it went
helps.
down a lot better. And she's like, that sounds amazing. Yes, I want to do that. I absolutely want to like murder them from far and in VR, and yeah, it'll be good. So
Yeah,
yeah,
really good.
it's a nice announcement. Yeah. There was some Bugsnack gameplay, which we got to see.
Yeah, still don't know what's going on, but yeah.
It's in first person, I think.
It is. It's first person. Yes, it's first. I think. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah.
Very excited to play that. To be honest, it looks different, and yeah, we need more of these type of games. So yeah, it looks like fun.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to talk about in any depth because I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but it looks.
If I say too much, I'm going to sound stupid. So there's mosquitoes. We know there's mosquitoes now, so
yeah.
It's new enemies and it's first person, and yeah, still don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm sure we'll find out when we get the game. Hopefully, we'll find out when we get the game.
Yeah, it's meant to be a launch or
it's
holiday
launch title,
launch, right? Yeah.
And timed exclusive to the PlayStation, so nice one to get.
You'll get it on Game Pass. It'll be fine.
Eventually, hopefully, one day.
They announced a game called Temtem.
Temtem, yeah. So
that's a huge amount about, other than it looks a bit sort of Pokemon-esque.
Digimon type. I'm pretty sure it's a mobile game. It's been around for a while. Come out early this year, maybe even January this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what I read about it. Looks okay. It's pretty. Looks okay. It's pretty. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm going to go out of my way to play it, but yeah, I'm sure there'll be a decent fan base.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a mobile game, there's going to be kids that have played it on their iPhone and they'll be like, oh, it's on PlayStation. Yep, gimme. So normally those type of games you can transfer stuff over with accounts and stuff as well. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, another one of those little different style games that most consoles need to have these days.
Yeah. I think the one that took you and I by surprise, though, just because I think we didn't quite realise what was going on.
Didn't realise what it was, yeah. We knew this was coming, but yeah, Control with their Alan Wake.
Like, damn.
I hope that means we get a new Alan Wake as well.
Yeah.
But
Mr. Xbot, was Alan Wake Xbot exclusive for a while?
It was. I can still play it in 4K on my Xbox One X right now if I want.
So is he coming over to Sony? Is it exclusive as well for a while? Is it a timed exclusive?
It's not. It's coming to... I thought it might have been. I actually thought it might have been because it was at PlayStation's event. So I was onto that nice and quick. But no, it's coming to all 3 platforms. And
that's great,
yes,
man.
the new consoles as well. I assume when they get their Control version, it'll have all the DLC in it. So yeah, I think that's when I'll tackle Control. I don't think I'm going to touch it until it comes out in Series X. It's one of the Series X games for sure.
Well, it sort of kickstarted a conversation I've seen online. This has created a bit of a world, like a shared universe for Remedy games that Alan Wake and Control are in, and that the next game they're hoping to have fit into that universe as well. Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, the Marvel of video games. Who knows?
Yeah, or like a Mortal Kombat versus
DC Universe at one point.
Universe type thing. Yeah. So mix them all together.
Yeah, I guilty like that game. Everyone moaned about it because it wasn't as violent as it could have been.
They couldn't do it. Like as soon as they announced it, I went, "Oh, the fatalities." But it's still good.
I do still have it. Yay!
Dude, look at that. There it is.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah.
And it's no different to playing Injustice. That's an awesome game. So yeah, they're toned down, but they're toned down for a reason.
There was another VR game that was announced, which actually I was really excited for this one as well. It was Star Wars Vader Immortal.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know it was on Oculus Quest before, and us PSVR fans were kind of looking over. Just
why don't we have it?
Yeah, lips quivering, everything. I want to play. All right, and apparently it's all sort of canon. It's all part of like the main stories of Star Wars, and yeah, and it's finally coming, and really soon, like in about 2 weeks' time.
7th, I think it was, or 28th. Yeah. So
25th even. Yeah.
5th,
so
there you go. Look at that.
Just over 2 weeks.
That's nice, quick one that caught everybody by surprise. And
Yeah.
again, good to see better games coming to VR.
Mm.
Well, bigger name games, because they announce a lot of these, like Assassin's Creed type things, and you get to see them at events, and then nothing comes from them. So yeah, it's very strange. So
the fun one that people always make. Oh no, am I getting that wrong? I was going to say no. That was for Switch. Never mind. I'd say that Steep disappeared.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that did disappear for
Never
Switch.
mind. Never mind.
Yeah, it's still coming. It's still coming. It's still. No, it's not coming.
It'll be released the same day as the Metroid Prime trilogy. Oh, Nikki.
Why do they need Metroid? Come on, we've got Pikmin 3 coming.
Yay! Well, we can discuss that if you like. The other one that they discussed, which I don't know, I couldn't quite pinpoint it, was Hood Outlaws and Legends, which is meant to be a PS5 game that's coming.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because it was kind of a bizarre mix of, in my head, a little bit like For Honor.
Yeah.
And there were also sort of maybe some Order 1886
vibes. Yeah. And obviously playing on the whole Robin Hood type thing as well. Not for me.
It looked, I don't know if it was confirmed or not, maybe you can tell me, but it looked like another games as service.
I think that's what it is. I think it's a 3-player online type games as service coming to both PlayStation, Xbox, PC. I think it's already on PC. I could be wrong. The developer, I've never, ever heard of them before. So they're a new developer. It looked okay. It didn't look bad. It just, I think it's another games for service game, which, again, a lot of people like that. They make a lot of money on those things. So it was interesting to see it pop up at the Sony event.
Another PS5 game that we didn't know were coming. Some people are going to be really excited for it, and I'm really pleased for them. But,
it's interesting.
Maybe not
no
after.
timed exclusivity either. It's coming out on everything, but it was just at the Sony event, which is interesting. So again, not something I'm going to dismiss completely. I probably will have another look at that when it comes out and see how it goes. What was next after that?
The next, the big thing that they finished off
10
on.
minutes of.
Yeah, it was Godfall, and we're going to start sounding really negative at the moment because obviously we weren't too excited on Hoods, but this one, when we were watching it, we actually stopped watching and started our own little chat.
You were talking about Xbox and Nintendo.
I don't know what it is about Godfall. To me,
appealing.
It looks so generic, so devoid of personality, and that's so not fair because I can see that a lot of care and time has gone into this game.
Oh yeah, some people will play it. It's not going to be a failure. It'll sell.
No, it won't.
And these type of games, being exclusive for maybe 12 months to PlayStation, there's not going to be a lot of, as we can tell for both consoles, and of a lot of launch titles that are exclusive. People will want something new on that new console, and it's got a lot of reflections going on. I don't know if it's ray tracing or not. It doesn't look like it, but it looks okay, but it doesn't look like it plays okay. Somebody did post a GIF of Kratos in God of War holding a shield and reflecting an arrow, and then the arrow spinning. It's the exact same animation in this game. They have
really. Oh wow!
I'm not saying 80%. It's like 99% the exact same animation from God of War.
Damn. Yeah.
And that's lazy. Sorry, but that is.
Yeah, no. I tell you what, one day I'll show you. There's these clips of the old Disney movies that they used to do where they actually just recycle the same animations.
I've seen, yes.
Over like 8 or 9 movies. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. They use it in the It's to save money, obviously, but I don't know why. Is it? I could be wrong. Maybe it's an Easter egg to God of War, like Godfall. I could be wrong. Maybe they've done it on purpose for a reason. But when he grabs his shield and he leans forward, and then you get this little spark coming off the shield, exactly the same. Exactly the same. It doesn't even look any different. So, it looks pretty basic to me. Basically, is all I'm saying. It doesn't look. There's a lot of depth to it, and I'm not that interested.
No. Unpopular opinion. When you and I were talking about it, it actually made me weirdly nostalgic for Castlevania Lord of Shadows.
You mentioned that, and I was like, yeah, I like that game. Let's go.
I actually liked it. I know it's not popular to say that, and it's not a real Castlevania game. But you know what? It was Mercury Steam who made it. They're a good developer.
They know how to make a good game.
Yeah.
That worked. It worked well. I enjoyed it.
Patrick Stewart as a narrator. I mean, that's a win.
Exactly.
Immediately. Yeah.
That one's also backwards compatible on my Xbox One X.
Ooh, fancy.
It was funny because you mentioned it, and then I was flicking through my games the other day, and I was like, oh, I do have that. Number 2. I got number 2.
Yeah. They also announced Braid Anniversary Edition. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
That's
I
great.
thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was a good game. I remember playing it. I want to say on the PS3 because I think it was an Xbox arcade game.
It was Xbox 360 actually. Yeah, it did come to PS3 and PC later, but it was exclusive to Xbox. And he said that he was like, we worked at 720p, and now we can work at 4K. Like, there's a lot more effort put into this. And funnily enough, the first one was Xbox timed exclusive. This one's PlayStation timed exclusive. So there you go. Yeah. I don't think developers pick a side. They just pick something, they run with it. They've got the money for one console.
Give me the money.
They make some money back, and then they release it on the other consoles. So they're not picking their favorites or anything like that. It's whoever's got the best deal going at the time, or whatever hardware is suitable for them, and they go for it. So it looks good. I'll probably have a look at that.
It did look pretty. To be fair, the actual
it looks good.
Animations that they showed off, and the detail of the images, look really good.
Yeah.
On the characters. So yeah, to be fair, it looks good.
Yeah, I'll play it on Game Pass when it comes.
Now this one, it kind of confused me a little bit at first. And it was that game Pathless.
Pathless.
Yeah, where you had sort of an eagle as a pet, and it was sort of guiding you towards different places.
Hit these targets with bow and arrow.
Yeah.
It looks okay. It looks very Zelda-y as well. There's a couple of games that look like Zelda.
We'll get onto that in a bit.
It looks empty though. It looks, and I could be wrong. It's already out on PC or coming to PC early. I think it was another one of those mobile games as well. So it looks okay. It doesn't look bad, but you said it yourself. There's not a lot going on, so I think you got to go solve some puzzles, and then you get to fight a boss.
Yeah, so
it pretty much seems to be the premise.
I got I don't know if you ever played Flower.
Yes.
And I kind of got that sort of vibe for a while, which it's very zen, and I can see how that could happen. That you could it'd be a chill out sort of game where you're just kind of getting into the flow of things. But for me, it did really kick in when they showed off those bosses because the animation style changed completely.
Yeah, and then it kind of opened up into
a
3D battle. And it looked intense. Yeah.
So it's got. I feel like I need to see more. I think. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not entirely sold on it.
Kind of plays like that as well. Hellblade, you go through, you solve puzzles, and then you get to fight a boss, and it's very. It seemed to be following that kind of pattern. So. The other one was another timed exclusive, Spelunky 2. So, again, very similar to Braid being announced, which is good. Online multiplayer, which is pretty interesting, and the first game was brutally hard. I mean,
it was. It was really hard.
I like to compare it to Rick Dangerous. I think it's that kind of vein of a game.
Yeah, good comparison actually.
You're just gonna die. You're just gonna die. You just have to, like Super Meat Boy. You're just gonna die.
Just accept it. That's part of the game.
You're gonna die. Yeah. It's part of the game, and it's all about getting good memory and good reflexes and going where you went. But it looks good. Another good one for the PlayStation 4 to get, and another timed exclusive, which is good. Seems to be the pattern at the moment. Picking a lot of these indies for times either side, which is interesting. Nintendo's not kind of doing that as much. There's not a lot of timed exclusives going to the Switch, more full exclusives going to the Switch when it comes to these little indie type games, which is interesting, I guess. I guess they're off in their own little world at the moment, Nintendo.
Yeah, who knows what they're doing. We can talk about that later, but they're clearly not exactly suffering at the moment.
No, we're seeing
they're not exactly
selling. Yeah. We thought Sony was doing well. Well, apparently you can release 3 or 4 games a year and hit the 20 million mark, and with only 60 million consoles out there. So
that's a hell of an attach rate, eh?
It's impressive, and they've always had that though. They've always had the Switch was out with 15 million units, and they sold 10 million of Mario Kart, a Wii U game. It wasn't even a. So the attach rate has always been great for Nintendo. They've always kicked Microsoft and Sony's butt on attach rates. There's probably a few reasons for that. We'll go into that later, I guess.
Yeah, we talk about it another time. The other one that I got excited to talk to you about when we were watching this stream was Genshin Impact, because this one has got so much bizarreness around it because it's essentially a Breath of the Wild ripoff.
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
it looks entirely stolen from Breath of the Wild.
Sexy Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, mixed
It's a
in
bit
with
more
maybe
adult.
like Hyrule Warriors or something like
Yeah,
that. You know,
yeah.
it's that sort of mix. And I remember it made me laugh so much when they announced this game. It was at some sort of Chinese gaming expo.
Yeah.
And people were like holding up copies of Breath of the Wild in protest at the developers. And the one that really made me laugh was the dude who walked in angry with his PS4 and threw it on the floor in front of the developers as he was
What
so
does that
pissed
achieve?
off. I know. But my problem is I watched that footage and I was kind of like, I kind of want to try it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to try it. I'm sure it's going to be some games as a service, something like
It's actually another one of those games that was a mobile game. So it's already out and it's a mobile game. So if you want to play it,
right.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we should give that a go because it's going to be.
I like it though. I like it. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be such a rip-off, but it'll be fun. The next one is a little controversial, isn't it, this week?
Maybe a very controversial.
Just slightly.
Yeah. So I don't know how you say it. Is it Aeon?
Aeon must die.
Really done really clever with the E and the O being one letter. Aeon must die. So again, it was another one of those slightly anime type, mobile type games that we're looking at, thinking, what is this? What's going on? Looks okay, but apparently it's been stolen. So I don't know how something like that happens. Polygon's done a big article on it. I didn't even know about this. You just told me about this earlier. So more nasty crunch allegations and underpayments and naughty stuff going on. And then the company's kind of taken, or the publisher took the game off the developers and have handed it over to someone else. So we'll probably hear more about this game later. What do you think? Should Sony maybe...
Juicy, eh? Whoa.
Sony might need to come out and say something.
They may have to step away from it a little bit. It's a shame.
Got a trailer there with the PlayStation logo on it. And if it's stolen footage and they weren't given permission to use it yet or whatever, obviously it's going to be a long court battle, I assume, from what's going on from the little gist I caught of the article. But Sony might need to come out and say something about this as well. So interesting one. One to keep our eyes on, I guess.
Definitely.
Drama in the gaming industry. Wow, who would have thought?
Yes. Yeah. Unheard of.
Crazy.
Yeah. The other one was Anno Mutatinum. I'm going to try to assume, is that how we pronounce it? Which I think it was, if I remember right, it was sort of like a steampunky type.
Yes.
Tron
cyberpunky
game.
Yeah. It's a timed exclusive as well, which is pretty cool. Didn't really know what was going on. It was very confusing again. I'm pretty sure it's out on PC already. So yeah, another one to have a look at, and yeah, just PS4, definitely not coming to the PS5. So yeah, just getting out the rest of those little indies. They've got timed exclusives, of course. That was another timed one, so it was okay. It wasn't too bad. And then the last one was The Pedestrian, which was also coming to PS5 and PS4. Already out on PC, and it's another timed exclusive. So very
like a
strange looking game, but I'm very interested, to be honest. You've literally got to make a path for this little cardboard or animated person over a paper trail to get through. Very much a puzzle game, but yeah, it looks good, looks interesting, and one of those games if you feel like testing your brain to sit down and chill out and relax a little bit and
I need to look into it. I'm trying to remember the name of the game. There was a game a few years ago. I remember playing it on PS3 where it was, and it did come out on mobile as well. It was black and white, and then you just flipped the world upside down to solve the puzzle. And I got those sort of vibes where you just have like a little stick figure type thing. And it was really good. I can't remember what it was called now.
I know the game you're talking about. I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, I got that. Yeah, that sort of thinking differently, so looking in different dimensions kind of thing. Oh, that's quite fun. Yeah. But overall, what were your general thoughts on the whole state of play? How did you feel it went?
Overall package, I mean, they did say indies, they did say PS4, they did say a little bit about PS5. I thought they'd have more PS4. I think, bigger titles, so to speak. I think it kind of proves that they're well and truly moving to PS5 now, and this is the end of PS4. Not the end; they will support it next year. But there's not going to be a lot of big games coming from Sony themselves or from the bigger publishers, which, to be expected. That's traditional. That's what happens.
Yeah.
The conference itself, 40 minutes. Did get bored, get distracted, and I'll probably stick to my original score of about a 6.
That's it. Yeah.
6 out of 10. I hate rating things; it's silly, but maybe expectations are too high as they are at the moment because we're so excited for PlayStation 5 and Series X hardware dates and news and info that we're not getting it. So it was a little bit strange to throw this one out there at this time, but probably the right time to do it too. Get it out now, and towards the end of the month, September, they can move more into the PlayStation 5 stuff, which we know they've got plenty more to talk about. So overall, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't bad. It was full of indies. Hitman was probably the biggest announcement coming to VR that I liked, and I liked seeing more of Crash as well. So they're probably my 2 highlights.
Yeah, I don't think you're entirely wrong. I feel like they delivered on what they said it was going to be. Right? It was pretty spot on what they said it would be. So, and I wonder if there's a lot of, because again, they're all watching each other, right? These companies, and they're seeing the backlash that people like Nintendo
and they're trying
are getting.
To learn from it. Yeah.
When they've got people hyped for something that they probably shouldn't have, so they were very upfront, I feel, about what to expect, and it was pretty much on point. Yeah, it was odd in terms of the timeline, in that we'd obviously had the Xbox event only like a week or so before, so you're kind of hoping, is this going to be a retort? But
and it wasn't.
And it wasn't. It was just this is what we're
showing what
off.
they've got. Yeah, it's just showing what they've got.
Off with.
And it doesn't matter how much you tell people this is what you should expect. As much as we've seen Microsoft didn't do that, and then it does. People are going to complain, and that's what everybody did. Everybody complained, and that's just social media, I guess. That's just how it is. That's people have high expectations. But even during the chat, you could see, where's Cyberpunk? Where's Call of Duty? But they never really said any of that was coming. They never said major third-party publishers are going to be here. So I think people miss the announcements. I think people just see State of Play, and that's it. They go, oh, cool, State of Play, PlayStation 5. And they just get that in their head, and they assume that. So keep your expectations in check, and away you go.
But I'm guessing that now a lot of those companies are seeing that they get way more attention when they do their own individual announcements. So you're going to have a Call of Duty event or video or announcement or something at some point, because then they'll get to dominate the
same with EA at the moment. I mean, they'll probably do Madden, they'll do a FIFA one by themselves as well. They'll push it, or they might even do a little sports thing with UFC, Madden, and FIFA again. They're not going to just have that because they haven't shown enough of their next gen games, EA, so to speak. And we all know we've got the DC one coming up soon too, so that's going to show off. So it doesn't mean we won't see Sony or Xbox titles at these events coming up either. It's not like they can't say, hey, we're not going to we're going to hold games off for these other events. So, Gamescom comes up, we don't want just Sony to be at Gamescom, and Microsoft goes, oh, we'll wait till our own event. So I'm sure all companies will probably throw some things into these other events that are happening in the next couple of months, just to get their name out there and get Xbox trending, get Sony, PlayStation trending, get Nintendo trending.
Sounds about right to me. Yeah. So I think I'm with you, man. They didn't do anything wrong. I feel like in this show, in this State of Play. But there wasn't a huge amount to be excited about. But then it is the end of the gen. So
it is the end of the gen. Yeah. Just to sum it up, when we finished the live stream, we kind of looked at each other and we went, "That's it."
Yeah. And that kind of it was Godfall. We weren't that interested in Godfall, so we're kind of like, oh, is that it?
We didn't expect that to be the last thing to show. Normally they come out with something not huge, but something bigger, like State of Play had Resident Evil 2 announced, and that was a multi-platform game, but they announced it at State of Play. That was big, that was huge. It did leak beforehand, unfortunately, but we were probably expecting something like that at this, like some sort of surprise, and we didn't get that. So
Silent Hill.
Well, Dust Golem, he's onto it, and we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Though I think at the time I felt it was a 6.5 around there, maybe out of 10, and I might edge closer to 7, just because I personally enjoyed the VR.
You had a
stuff.
couple of VR stuff in there.
Yeah, I get that that's not for everyone, but just because I know I will get those games, that made me happy. So I'll be picking them both up.
When we rate these conferences, we always go 7 or 8, depending on what games we're going to play from that.
Exactly.
We never really go, millions of people are so happy with that announcement, but I'm not going to touch it. So I don't give them points for that, and that's a personal score. It's not it's not an overall rating. So yes, if it was an overall rating and if I had a VR, I'd give it a 7 as well, 100%.
There you go. Well, what did you guys think? Did you enjoy the state of play? Was there anything you were excited about? Were you a little bit disappointed, or were you just like, yeah, that was fine. That was a 6 or a 7. Nothing wrong. It was fine. Yeah. Let us know in the comments below.
Like and subscribe, guys, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Right. Bye.
Bye.